The sense of place is everything for Appalachian people. The entire history of a people is wrapped up in this sound, in this music.
Feeling in the hearts and the minds, in a world that is sick of blood and shame.
The sound of Appalachian traditional music.
In this world.
Hey, I'm Chunz.
And I'm Makh. We're a DJ and vocalist duo from the UK. We're on a mission to travel across the US to discover the heart of American music by meeting the musicians who bring these American beats to life.
We're excited to be here in Asheville, North Carolina, in order to discover all we can about Appalachian Mountain music. We're meeting with local musicians Laura and Josh at Sovereign Remedies, a restaurant that specializes in using ingredients fresh from the Appalachian area.
Wow.
Seared tuna.
Wow, this looks great.
It almost looks too pretty to eat.
I've never seen purple potatoes before.
So I got to know 6 of my great-grandparents. You know, they were born in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and of course still making their living on farming. And these families would, after they'd finished work, get together and play music, or Saturday nights they'd get together and have a dance.
The women would fix food, and the musicians would come in, and the fiddler was generally not the one putting up hay or putting up tobacco. One of the fiddle tunes says, "Give the fiddler a dram," which is, you know, a shot of whiskey, because you want to keep the fiddler happy. That's something you definitely have to do. He's the main thing that's keeping the party going, you know. Asheville's located in the Blue Ridge Mountains in western North Carolina. We are part of the Appalachian South. The Appalachian music in these mountains has been here for centuries. This music is what came here with settlers in the 17 and 1800s. A lot of them were from England, Scotland, and Ireland. When settlers came to the mountains, they brought the things with them that they could carry. So that's why fiddles came here. But the music evolved. When the banjo came into the mountains, it attached itself to the English, Scottish, Irish music and created a whole new form of music, which we refer to as Appalachian music. Guitars came in later in the 1800s, so the basic string band in the Appalachian Mountains for a long time were the fiddle, the banjo, and the guitar. Asheville's known as a music town. People come here for all kinds of music, but they can also still find a very vibrant traditional Appalachian music community. The Appalachian music is here, it's alive, it's growing. Josh is an incredible musician. He plays all the instruments. He's Grammy nominated. He is beyond talented.
To really understand the music here, we needed to get out and explore this epic mountain town, starting with the Biltmore Estate and its exquisite grounds and amazing architecture.
The Biltmore Estate was built in the late 1800s by George W. Vanderbilt and is currently America's largest privately owned home.
Then we headed back downtown to experience the rich art culture of Asheville, beginning with seeing records pressed at Citizen Vinyl.
I got to have a little spin on the decks. And then after a relaxing cup of tea, we came across a weekly drum circle in Pritchard Park, filled with eclectic people. The people of Asheville really love to let their creativity run wild.
We swapped our drums for some dancing shoes and headed about half an hour outside of downtown Asheville to the picturesque Lake Eden retreat. There we met with 2 world-class cloggers.
It looks really reminiscent of Celtic river dance that you get over there.
I was going to bring that up.
Is it a bit ignorant to say it's very similar? Or
no,
is that
I don't
the
think
case?
so at all. No, I mean, that's our heritage. I think we all just brought it together and we made our own dance and we called it clogging. You're making music with your feet at the end of the day, and that's what's so great about clogging. You make it your own. You do what you want with your feet as long as you're in beat. now. It's not get crazy.
If it does go out of beat, who's to blame, the dancers or the musicians?
I was just about to say, it depends on which side you're on for the day. All right, you guys ready to learn some clogging?
I'm just worried about kicking his shins.
But me and Mom will help you. We'll clap our hands and we'll keep you going. I'll call you out if you're out of, I'm just kidding. So we're just gonna bounce our knees. And then we'll bring a foot out.
There's no doubt that Southern Appalachian music is in my blood. I got to know 6 of my great-grandparents who had been told the stories of their ancestors settling in this region in the Southern Appalachian Mountains from the British Isles, Ireland, and Scotland in the mid to late 1700s. And both my mom and dad's family, some of their ancestors were the first in the county where I grew up.
Speed it up a little bit. Shuffle, step, back, step. Shuffle, step, back, step. Shuffle,
My
step.
7th or 8th great-grandfather back, he came from Ireland. And when they were getting ready to land in Pennsylvania, they couldn't get the ship all the way in. So he ended up jumping overboard, and they said that he only got here with his red hair and his fiddle held over his head as he swam into shore. He made his way down the Great Wagon Road into the Southern Appalachian Mountains, lived in a hollow tree for 2 years. Can you imagine being in the middle of the woods here in this area by yourself and playing fiddle with it echoing across the hills and hollers? I've been playing with Laura Boosinger now for close to 30 years. When we are able to sing together, there's a magic there that I don't have with other people.
Shady Grove, my little love, bound for Shady Grove.
Laura is a phenomenal vocalist, and she has this magnetic personality that you can't help but just want to be around.
One of the great things about this traditional music, you can go anywhere in the world, and if people play this music, you might not be able to talk to them, but you can sit down and have a conversation playing the music. I came down here to go to college when I was barely 18 and discovered you could take banjo lessons at college, and I did. And the more I heard the banjo, the more I fell in love with it. And everything about this music here seems so real to me, and I just wanted to be immersed in it. So I changed my music major to a concentration in Appalachian music, and I found a community here. There were so many people that played the music, and it just seemed a place for me to be and to stay, and I did.
We headed over to the beautiful botanical gardens here in Asheville, where we were going to take on the big challenge of learning the iconic banjo. Those fingers better be warm, Chunz.
Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I know. Shady Grove, my little love, bound for Shady Grove.
That sounds incredible. That sounds incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Talk to us a bit about Appalachian music. What makes it unique? What's different about it compared to other genres?
Well, it's really old. It is hundreds and hundreds of years old. The roots are in England, Scotland, and Ireland, but when those tunes came across the ocean into the mountains, they changed. They took on the flavor of what people were experiencing here.
And I think that if you listen to this music in the Southern Appalachian Mountains, it sounds different than what it would be if you went, say, to Ireland or Scotland and heard this music, because the groove is different, and that's because of the banjo, which came from Africa. It kind of gives it that offbeat groove and has just this kind of cool bounce to it.
Yeah.
Josh plays every instrument, and I'm not even joking. Like all the band instruments, everything.
So we see Josh holding this banjo, but yours looks slightly different there, Laura. Tell us Tell us about it.
This one's probably from the mid-1800s, and it's definitely has an animal skin head on it. It's tuned really low, so it has a really different sound, and the resonating of this animal skin head gives it a really cool sound. So you can imagine somebody sitting on their porch playing this banjo. They weren't on a big stage. They were just at home with their family.
What you just said there makes so much sense because there's a real intimacy about this music. It's not supposed to be this big, loud music. It's just small, wholesome music. It feels like that. We'd love to give it a try. Chunz, I think we'd let's see how much we can butcher it.
Now, the particular style that you heard Laura play is called claw hammer. And literally, you kind of make a claw with your hand, and your thumb kind of is like the hammer. The way this music has survived is because people took the time to show it to young people. And I'm no exception. I'm from a long line of folks who've been willing to share with me their knowledge about music and about the culture of the Appalachian Mountains. My uncle had a piano, and I just remember at the age of 4 sitting down and playing. I could just naturally figure out tunes with one finger when I was 4. And then when I got to be 5, I started playing piano with both hands actually in church. When I was 10 years old, and my great uncle gave me that first guitar, it's then that I truly fell in love with it. And once I started learning a few chords from him, then I found out I knew other people in the community who could play a few chords and knew a couple of songs. And I would go to them and they would teach me songs on the guitar. Then all of a sudden, somebody gave me a banjo, and I found people who could play a couple chords on banjo and started learning the banjo. Then I had somebody give me a fiddle, and I started learning it. I went through this whole phase of having to learn every possible fiddle tune that I could learn. All of my formative years when it comes to learning this music were learned on the front porches of all these older folks who taught me these instruments and taught me these old songs. And so looking out with these beautiful, expansive views of the mountains and the mist, and hearing them sing a song that would echo back with this kind of power you can't imagine, I felt alive. I can't think of many days from the time I was in middle school until high school where I didn't practice 4 and 5 hours a day. I was eat up with it. I wanted it all. You know, I knew I could never get everything that music was, but I wanted it all.
After hearing so much about the Appalachian Mountains, we wanted to experience them. So we headed up to Blue Ridge Parkway to hike the Mountains to Sea Trail.
There's this sense in mountain culture of staying close to home. My family really never traveled outside of a 200-mile radius. When I graduated from high school, I traveled playing music. But as a mountain boy, the challenges of traveling around the world and leaving the mountains were so difficult for me. So I would just be depressed and heartbroken. I would just yearn to be in the mountains. When I first started to travel, I didn't know that performing on stage was what I was meant to do. As I started meeting all these people who would be touched by something I would say or something I would play, and I started realizing that I was put on this planet to do this, to share the Southern Appalachian music with the world. Every time I step on stage somewhere where they have no clue about Appalachian Mountain culture, through the music, I want to breathe life into these people that I grew up with so that they can see them, they can visualize the front porches. They can see these old timers playing fiddles and kind of walk a mile in my shoes and to see what it was like growing up in those hills and hollers. The stories that I tell about these people that I grew up with and the music That's how they stay alive.
When there's peace, precious peace in this world, they'll be shouting and singing, joy everywhere. When there's peace, precious peace in this world.
It was our last night in Asheville, and Laura and Josh invited us to Pack Square Park for Shindig on the Green, which happens every Saturday night during summer.
Although the music dates back centuries, it feels so alive today in Asheville.
It was amazing to see the whole community, young and old, come out to enjoy the music and the dancing.
20 years ago, you might have worried that the Appalachian Mountain music would die out, but it's not happening. There are so many wonderful young people coming along playing this music, and it's a wonderful future ahead.
To truly understand Southern Appalachian music, you have to see it in person. Because when you see it in person, you can feel the joy, you can feel the energy, you can feel the emotion. As an Appalachian musician, I hope that when people look back on what I've done, they say, I can't think of someone who loved it more.
Our time in North Carolina is almost over. We had a mountain to climb to learn about Appalachian music. You reckon we hit the summit?
You know what, Mac? I think we definitely hit base camp.
It's been a history lesson as well as a music lesson. The roots here go so deep.
You're right, Mac. So deep that some of the people that we met, their families have been living in these mountains since the 1700s.
And the families beyond that go all the way back to the UK. It's incredible.
You know what, Mac? I really think I've got this clogging down.
I don't know about that, Chunz. You've still got an Appalachian Mountain to climb.